loko. Hello everyone, it's Adirunke again, and today I'd like to talk about body positions in Yoruba. So body positions in Yoruba, what positions come to your mind? Think about sitting, standing, bending, and things like that. So the first one that I have is the sitting position, and the act of sitting itself is called ijoko. Ijoko, that's the act of sitting itself. Ijoko. Ijoko. However, you would often find certain people call chair ijoko as well. So aga is what we call chair. I have a video on furniture and the names that we call furniture. However, you would hear ijoko to mean chair. Just in certain cases, it's often the adults that call ijoko chair, because in their era it was more common to call ijoko chair. However, the act of sitting, like I said, is ijoko. The verb to sit is called joko. So sit. The verb is joko. Joko. Ijoko is the noun. Joko is the verb. So if you're talking to someone that is younger than you, or someone that is your age mate, and you want to tell them to sit, you would say joko. Sit. Have a sit. Sit. Joko. However, if you're talking to someone that is older than you, or if you're talking to two or more persons of any age, you would say ejoko. It wouldn't be joko, it would be ejoko, because that person is older than you. You would begin with when you're addressing someone who is older than you or two or more persons of any age. Ejoko. Okay, moving on to the next one. The next one is the act of standing. The act of standing, and it's called iduro. Iduro. The act of standing. There's sitting and then standing. Standing is iduro. That's the noun. The verb is duro. So if you want to tell someone to stand, duro, just it can also be the act of waiting, right? And if you say duro, you might be telling someone to wait. So that's that. Just in case you hear it anywhere else being used in those contexts, know that iduro can also be the act of waiting, and duro can also be wait. However, iduro is the act of standing, and duro means stand. So duro, stand, duro. You can hear dide duro, dide duro. Rise up and stand. Rise up and stand. Dide duro, or just duro, stand. So you would hear that. And when you're talking to someone that is older than you, you wouldn't say duro, or two or more persons of any age, you wouldn't say duro, whether one is older and the other one is younger, whatever the case may be, or like multitudes. You wouldn't say duro, you would say duro, like I mentioned earlier. So keep that at the back of your mind. Is what will precede these verbs when you're talking to someone that is older than you or two or more persons of any age. However, you can just say the verbs like that. Duro, joko, when you're talking to someone that is younger than you, or your age mate. The next one that I have is inaro. Inaro. That is the act of being in a horizontal position. Inaro. Naro is being in a horizontal position. So if you tell someone naro, you're telling that person to be in a horizontal position, to not bend, basically, to not bend. If you're talking to someone that is your age mate or someone that is younger than you would say naro. If you're talking to someone that is older than you or two or more persons of any age, you would say enaro. Moving on to the next one. The next one is the act of bending. Ibere. Ibere. So this position that this woman is taking, bending, going lower than the form that you would take when you're standing. The act of bending is called ibere. 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 Bere is to bend. Bere is to bend, and I believe that by now you know what applies to when you're talking to an adult or someone that is older than you, and when you're talking to your age mate or someone that is younger than you. Ibere. Ibere. Bere is the verb. Bere. Ibere also applies to crouching. It also applies to crouching. So whether you're saying bending or crouching, it's still ibere. Ibere. The next one that I have here is squatting. Now, it doesn't really matter. We Yoruba people call squatting ibere too, but the exact word for it is ilosho. I feel that because back then we did not have water closets that you find in toilets now. So this is how we defecated. There would be, sometimes it could be in the bush, and sometimes it would be in what we call shalanga pits. So that would be the form that you would take when you want to. As a matter of fact, it is the best position to take. So a pit latrine is called shalanga. 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 A pit, and any pit, is ikoto. Ikoto or koto. Koto. You can just exclude the e. Ikoto or koto. Pit latrine, the one word name for a pit latrine is shalanga. I don't know if you've seen this video in which it was being explained that if you're sitting on a water closet, of course it's the most comfortable, but it's not the best position for easing defecation. Squatting like this figure is the best position for defecating. You're not squeezing anything, it's just a bit easier position wise. So this is the position that our ancestors took before they were water closets. The act of squatting is called ilosho. Dogs also take that position. Dogs, when you tell a dog to sit, they're taking that squatting position. That's it's sitting to them, but it looks like squatting a bit. Anyway, the verb is losho. The verb is losho. Ilosho is the act of squatting. Losho is the verb. And by now, you know what applies to when you're speaking to adults or when you're speaking to someone that is younger or your age mate. The next is the act of lying down. And it's idubule. 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 The act of lying down. To lie down is to dubule. Dubule. Idubule is the act. Dubule is to lie down. Idubule. Dubule. Some people call the act of lying down sun, but sun is more for sleeping. The act is sleeping. The act of lying down, idubule. To lie down is dubule. Now the next one is idob, the act of prostrating. And I don't know if you've seen one of my old videos on salutations and greeting. This is the form that we take when we want to, that men take. People of the masculine physical gender, because at the end of the day we're all masculine and feminine inherently. It's just we tend to be more of one than the other at a particular point, but at the same time we have to balance our masculine and feminine sides in order to be at peace. I don't want to go into theories now. I just want to teach positions. So anyway, the act of prostrating is idobale. To prostrate is dobale. So if you're telling someone that is younger than you to prostrate, you would say dobale. Idobale is the noun, dobale is the verb, the act of prostrating. They don't, like, whether they are greeting a man or a woman, this is the form that boys or men take when they are greeting adults, people that are older than them, especially elders, traditionally. Idobale, dobale, idobale, dobale, idobale, dobale. However, there are situations in which, like, you can't prostrate fully, because whether it could be that you're wearing white and you're outdoors, and of course it wasn't that everywhere was as cemented and tiled as it is now. If you were wearing white and you don't want to stain your clothes, because it's not necessary, but you just want to show some form of respect anyway, you would take this position that this man is taking. You may touch the floor with your palm, but basically this form, whether or not when you take this form, like prostrating halfway, is still idobale. So whether you prostrate fully or you don't prostrate fully, it's still idobale. However, when you want to differentiate between both, when you want to say prostrating fully, the act of prostrating fully is idobale tan. Fully, tan is fully, completely, tan to the very end, completely, basically. So idobale tan. You can also say nino tan. No, the no is nino is the act of stretching. Is the act of stretching, but it can also be used to mean the act of prostrating, because when you're prostrating, you're stretching your full body, your full self on the ground. So ninatan can also be, so nino, the act of prostrating or stretching, depending on what the context is. Ninatan, prostrating fully, and the verb would be dobaletan, prostrate fully, natan, prostrate fully. Idobaletan, ninatan, dobaletan, natan, prostrate fully, prostrating fully. And when you want to say prostrating halfway, the act of prostrating halfway is idobale labo, just halfway. Abo is off. So idobale labo, prostrating halfway, off. Abo is off. Then the verb is dobale labo. You don't have to prostrate all the way, just prostrate halfway. Dobale labo. Labo is a contraction of two words. Ni, abo. Ni can be is, it can be in, it can be, depending on the context. Abo is off. So in off, basically labo, in off, halfway. So ikule is the next one, the act of kneeling. Ikunle. The verb here, to kneel as a verb, is kunle. Ikunle is the act, kunle is the verb. Ikunle, kunle. And here in that image, you would see a woman kneeling. That is the position that women take when they are greeting adults that are older than them, people that are older than them. Ikunle, kunle, ikunle, kunle. There are certain positions that a woman would sort of get to traditionally that would not require her to kneel for anybody anymore. When a woman reaches a certain age, kneeling is not exactly the easiest thing to do. So she stops kneeling for anybody, whether or not the other senior is older than her. It's not necessary. At this point, you're both seniors. But people still kneel. You would still see many old people kneeling. So, but there's some that at a certain age, you can't expect a 90-year-old woman to be kneeling down for a 100-year-old woman, if it's, or a 100-year-old man, if it's not the easiest thing for her to do. So age. And then there are certain chieftaincy titles that would require a woman not to kneel again, except she's kneeling for like the king or a deity. So, but I don't want to go into that because that's going to make the video longer than it should be. Ikunle, the act of kneeling. Kunle, to kneel, verb, kunle. Now, we also have genuflection, in which I couldn't find a different image, so I had to use this one. It's not in every case that a woman can kneel. Let's say, like I said, with the sand or dirt, or whether there are stones where she is, or there are just certain cases in which a person may not really find it easy or comfortable or probably even wise to kneel fully, you know, whether or not she's wearing white or something that can get stained easily. So a person may just want to genuflect. As a matter of fact, people are genuflecting more now, more than kneeling, you know. So it also applies to genuflection. So whether you're kneeling with your two knees or just kneeling with one knee, or not even kneeling with any of the knees but just bending and making that motion like someone who is about to kneel, is still ikunle. However, when you want to differentiate, when you want to say kneeling fully, it would be ikunle pẹ̀lú ẹsẹ̀ méjèèjì. Kneeling with ẹsẹ̀ is pẹ̀lú is with, pẹ̀lú is with, ẹsẹ̀ is leg. Méjèèjì is both. Méjì is two, so méjèèjì is both. Orúnkún is knee. Ìkúnlẹ̀ pẹ̀lú orúnkún méjèèjì. So kneeling with both legs, kneeling with both knees can be used to describe kneeling fully. However, when the person is not kneeling completely, remember what I said about idobale. You can say ìkúnlẹ̀ láàbọ̀, kneeling halfway, not kneeling fully. Ìkúnlẹ̀ láàbọ̀ would apply to kneeling halfway. However, when you're talking about kneeling fully, it's ìkúnlẹ̀ pẹ̀lú ẹsẹ̀ méjèèjì or ìkúnlẹ̀ pẹ̀lú orúnkún méjèèjì. The next position that I have here is the act of kowtowing. Kowtowing. And it's called ìforíbalẹ̀. Ìforíbalẹ̀. The act of kowtowing is ìforíbalẹ̀. To kowtow is to foríbalẹ̀. Foríbalẹ̀. Fi orí ba ilẹ̀. Fi orí ba ilẹ̀. Fi is use. Fi is use. I'm describing the four words that make up ìforíbalẹ̀. Now, ìforíbalẹ̀ is the contraction of four words. Fi orí ba ilẹ̀. Fi is use. Orí is head. Orí is head. Ba is to touch. To touch. Ilẹ̀ is the ground or the floor. Fi, use. Orí, head. Ba, to touch. Ilẹ̀ is the ground or the floor. So, foríbalẹ̀. Foríbalẹ̀ is to put one's head on the ground. So, the act of kowtowing. And it's not a position that you would take when you're greeting people on the day-to-day basis. Like, when you prostrate, you may not necessarily put your head on the ground. You may not necessarily put your head on the ground. You may just put your chest on the ground, or even hold yourself up with your chest, with your ends, sorry. You may not even put your chest on the ground completely, and it will still be prostrating fully. People don't put their faces like on the very floor. However, when you take this position, it's like the uttermost. You're putting your head, to the Yoruba people, the head, whether physical or spiritual, is like powerful. It's like probably the most important part of your body. So when you're putting that on the floor, it's the utmost form of respect that you would give anybody when you're putting your head on the floor in greeting. So Iforibale is the position that you take when you're greeting a king or a deity. Kings, because they're like the we call them Igbakeji Orisha. Aside deities, they're the as far as power is concerned, or the hierarchy, or whatever, they are the next to the deities, respect wise. So that's why we call them Igbakeji Orisha. And so this is the position that you take when you're greeting deities or kings. You may also kneel when you're greeting a deity. You may prostrate, but this particular position that makes you put your head on the ground is the ultimate form of respect. So that would be all for now as far as body positions are concerned. I've talked about standing, sitting, prostrating, kneeling, and all sorts. I'm going to be talking about gestures next. Gestures. So gestures in Yoruba and what they mean. That one may have parts because we have several gestures. So that's that for body positions. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask me. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe if you'd like to. And you may support my channel in whatever ways that you feel led to. And I'll see you in the next video. Have a good day and goodbye.